In this video, we're exposing the most effective, easy-to-find amino acids that can help aging men naturally improve performance and confidence without prescription, embarrassing conversations, or risky shortcuts. If you're a man over 40, this might hit close to home. You've noticed something's off. Not all at once, but slowly, quietly, frustratingly. Erections aren't as firm or as frequent as they used to be. Morning wood is rare. Desire fades faster. And in the moments that matter most, your body doesn't always show up. You tell yourself it's stress or getting older, but deep down, there's a part of you wondering, is this permanent? Am I losing it? What if I can't get it back? You're not alone. Millions of men feel that same silent fear, but never speak it out loud. They skip the topic at doctor visits. They avoid eye contact with their partner. They pretend nothing's wrong, while quietly watching their confidence and masculinity erode. But here's the truth. What you're experiencing is not just in your head. It's biological, it's predictable, and most importantly, it's reversible. New clinical research shows that specific amino acids already used by elite athletes for blood flow can safely and naturally support stronger erections, better circulation, and renewed bedroom performance. No blue pills, no awkward appointments, just simple, science-backed strategies that work with your body, not against it. If you've been feeling disconnected from your vitality, if you've been missing out on intimacy, confidence, and real performance, stick around, because in the next few minutes, we'll break down the best amino acids for aging men, how they work, what the research says, and how you can use them today to start turning things around. That's why today we're examining an often overlooked, easy-to-find amino acid for aging men called L-citrulline, and how it could play a meaningful role in supporting erectile function as part of a broader approach to vascular and hormonal health. Now, let's be clear from the outset. Erectile dysfunction, commonly abbreviated as ED, isn't just about sex. It's a vascular event. And in aging men, it's often one of the earliest warning signs of a larger systemic issue. Reduced blood flow may be the first noticeable indicator of endothelial dysfunction, meaning your blood vessels aren't dilating the way they should. And here's where the problem deepens. Because our cultural assumptions about ED are often outdated. Many still see it as a psychological issue or attribute it solely to testosterone levels, when in reality, the cause is frequently biological, cumulative, and preventable. More concerning, though, is what happens when men do nothing. Ignoring erectile changes may delay the detection of high blood pressure, prediabetes, or even early cardiovascular disease. According to a 2010 study published in the BMJ, erectile dysfunction was independently associated with a higher risk of heart attack, stroke, and all-cause mortality, even after controlling for known cardiovascular risks. Yet many men still delay seeking care. The market is flooded with herbal blends, late-night ads, and vague promises about male vitality. Sorting fact from fiction can feel impossible. Here's one example. You may have heard of L-arginine supplements, often marketed for sexual health. But what many men don't know is that L-citrulline, a related amino acid found naturally in foods like watermelon, may be better absorbed and more effective at supporting nitric oxide production in the body. And nitric oxide is the key molecule we're talking about here. It's the signal that tells your blood vessels to relax and dilate. When nitric oxide levels drop, blood flow suffers. And without adequate blood flow, the complex hydraulic system of an erection can't do its job. Now, to be clear, these supplements are not miracle pills. They don't work instantly, and they're not effective for everyone, particularly men with more advanced ED, where underlying atherosclerosis or nerve damage may be present. But the data suggests that for aging men with early erectile changes, especially those tied to vascular tone and endothelial function, strategic use of amino acids may support natural nitric oxide production, improve penile blood flow, and help delay the progression to more aggressive interventions. And perhaps most importantly, they open the door to a deeper conversation. What does erectile function really tell us about overall health? Let's take a step back and look at what's happening under the surface throughout the aging male body. By the time a man reaches his late 40s or early 50s, one of the first physiological changes that tends to go unnoticed is a decline in endothelial function. The endothelium is the thin layer of cells lining our blood vessels, and it's responsible for releasing nitric oxide. Again, that critical compound that tells arteries when to relax and allow blood to flow. As we age, this system becomes less efficient. Nitric oxide production decreases, oxidative stress increases, and the inner lining of our arteries becomes stiffer and less responsive. This condition, called endothelial dysfunction, is not just the early warning sign of erectile issues. It's also a red flag for hypertension, atherosclerosis, and future cardiovascular disease. That's not speculation. It's been documented extensively. A 2011 review in the Journal of Physiology by Seals et al. Outlined how nitric oxide bioavailability declines significantly with age, leading to reduced vascular elasticity and increased blood pressure. This isn't just about arteries in the heart. It affects blood flow everywhere, including the penile arteries, which are smaller in diameter and often the first to show signs of systemic dysfunction. Think of it this way. The penis can act like a barometer for vascular health. If blood flow is struggling there, it may be struggling elsewhere, long before more obvious earliest symptoms appear. So, where do amino acids come in? As we discussed earlier, L-citrulline is converted into L-arginine, which fuels nitric oxide production via the enzyme nitric oxide synthase. But citrulline also has another advantage. It inhibits an enzyme called arginase, which breaks down arginine. This means more raw material stays available for NO synthesis, leading to greater, more consistent vascular dilation. A 2010 study in the journal Nitric Oxide confirmed this, showing that citrulline supplementation not only boosted arginine levels, but also reduced arginase activity, preserving the body's ability to produce NO efficiently. In real-world terms, this may translate to improved quality, lower resting blood pressure, and better vascular responsiveness during arousal. There's also another system at play, the nervous system. Sensory input from the brain, spinal cord, and pelvic nerves coordinates with local blood vessels to initiate and maintain the erectile response. And here too, nitric oxide is a primary signal. The neurons that regulate arousal and pelvic blood flow rely on NO as a neurotransmitter, helping smooth muscle in the corpora cavernosa relax, allowing engorgement. So when nitric oxide levels are chronically low, both systems, vascular and neurological, become impaired. There's one more layer, testosterone. While L-citrulline and L-arginine don't directly raise testosterone, their indirect effects may optimize the body's response to existing hormones by improving tissue oxygenation and blood supply. In men with borderline low testosterone, this can make a meaningful difference in performance, even without altering hormone levels. That said, there's often confusion around other amino acids, particularly D-aspartic acid, which is marketed as a natural testosterone booster. While one 2009 study in reproductive biology and endocrinology showed a modest rise in testosterone among younger men after 12 days of use, follow-up studies failed to replicate these results in older populations. At this time, D-aspartic acid is not considered a reliable intervention for testosterone or erectile quality in aging men. It's also important to understand that while amino acids can improve nitric oxide levels, they are not sufficient for men with advanced cardiovascular disease, diabetes-related neuropathy, or severe penile fibrosis. That's why proper diagnosis matters, and why supplements should never be used as a replacement for medical evaluation. That said, when used wisely and consistently, amino acid therapy, especially L-citrulline, may provide a low-risk, evidence-based tool for supporting vascular health, firmness, and potentially even exercise performance. In fact, multiple studies have shown that citrulline improves endurance and recovery in physically active men, likely through the same nitric oxide mechanisms. A 2016 trial in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research found that athletes taking 6 grams of citrulline before exercise reported reduced fatigue and greater blood flow, which, over time, may contribute to better cardiovascular outcomes. So, to summarize, nitric oxide declines with age, weakening blood vessel responsiveness. Citrulline supports NO production through multiple mechanisms, including arginase inhibition. The effects span vascular, neurological, and muscular systems. Supplements won't solve everything, but for the right patient profile, they can be an excellent adjunct to lifestyle change and medical care. So now that you understand the science and what's actually happening inside the aging male body, the next question is simple. What should you do about it? Let's start with what the research tells us. Recommended dosing based on human trials. L-citrulline. Clinical studies showing improved erectile quality typically used 1.5 to 3 grams per day, though athletic performance studies go as high as 6 grams daily with good tolerance. 2011 Urology study. 1.5 g/day improved erection hardness in 50% of men with mild ED in just 1 month. L-arginine. Standard trials often use 5 to 6 grams per day, taken either as a single dose or split throughout the day. 2003 Journal of Sex and Marital Therapy. 6 g/day led to improved function in 30 to 50% of men. Combo use. Many experts suggest that stacking L-citrulline and L-arginine may offer synergistic effects. Citrulline helps reduce arginase activity, preserving more arginine for NO production. And this is a big, but more is not always better. High doses can lead to stomach discomfort, especially with arginine. Some users report bloating or diarrhea when taking more than 6 grams per day. Citrulline is typically easier on the stomach and has better absorption, which is why many researchers now consider it the superior option. So, if you're new to this, start with 1.5 to 2 grams of L-citrulline daily, preferably on an empty stomach. If tolerated well, consider adding 2 to 3 grams of L-arginine alongside it. Consistency is key. Take it daily, not just as needed. These compounds work over time, not instantly like a pill. Safety and drug interactions. This part is critical. Both L-citrulline and L-arginine can lower blood pressure. That's usually a good thing, but if you're already taking nitrates like nitroglycerin, blood pressure medications, especially ACE inhibitors or calcium channel blockers, PDE5 inhibitors like Viagra or Cialis, then stacking amino acids on top may push your blood pressure too low, especially during physical exertion or sexual activity. That's why you must talk to your doctor, especially if you're already taking medication for your heart, blood pressure, or ED. Bring the science. Bring the citations. Ask them how it fits into your personalized care plan. Also, if you're diabetic, have chronic kidney issues, or suffer from advanced ED symptoms, amino acids alone won't solve the problem. They're supportive tools, not magic bullets. Can you get these from food? Technically, yes. Watermelon is a natural source of L-citrulline. 1 cup has about 250 milligrams. But keep in mind, therapeutic doses require 6x to 20x that amount daily. You'd have to eat several pounds of watermelon every day to match what a single supplement capsule can deliver. That's why virtually all clinical studies use isolated, concentrated supplements, not food alone. So if you're serious about seeing measurable changes, you'll need to use well-sourced supplements. Look for third-party tested products, transparent labels, no proprietary blends, capsule or powder form, ideally without artificial sweeteners or dyes. If you've been experiencing erectile issues for more than 3 months, or if symptoms are severe, inconsistent erections, poor firmness, low libido, don't self-diagnose. ED is often the first sign of cardiovascular disease, and ignoring it could delay diagnosis of something far more serious. A urologist or a men's health specialist can help you identify hormonal issues like low testosterone, assess vascular flow using a penile Doppler, rule out neurological problems, customize treatment, whether that's supplements, prescription meds, or a combo. Amino acids like L-citrulline and L-arginine aren't miracle cures, but they're a research-backed, low-risk first step toward reclaiming blood flow, performance, and confidence. Used properly, they may improve erection quality, enhance cardiovascular health, boost exercise performance, support mental confidence in the bedroom. But again, science over hype. If it's serious, get evaluated. If it's mild or just starting, this might be exactly the edge you need. If this helped, give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. Drop your questions in the comments and I'll cover advanced protocols in the next one. And always remember, better blood flow is better health, period.